Hi, and welcome to my wonderful knitting life. My name is Margaret, and I'm the host of this channel. And today we're going to be having a guest. This is Nate, my nephew. He's from Seattle in the United States, and he is visiting our family cottage. And we are coming to you from the Ottawa Valley. Usually I am located on the North Shore of the St. Lawrence in Quebec, where I am a teacher. But this is where I like to spend my summer holidays, and I'm really lucky that I get lots of family visitors and friends who drop by. So it's really steamy today outside, so forgive us if we look a little bit sweaty. It's climbing to maybe 37, 38 degrees with the humidex, and we've been doing a lot of things today. We had the chimney sweep come and take care of our wood stove, so it's been a busy day, but we're going to take a moment just to relax. And we're going to talk about all of our summer goings-on and our crafty things. So on the agenda today, we are going to be talking about a visit to an alpaca farm in our local area. We're going to talk about doing leather work, the first time ever for me, at a camp that we attended for a week. We're going to update you on my knitting and crochet projects. Nate is going to talk about
my crocheting and my soap making.
And that will probably wrap it up. So we're going to get started. We are using a new camera system that my daughter bought me, and the light ring my sister bought me for the podcast. So I'm really hoping that that works well today for our episode number 10, I think it is. And if you find that this channel is your cup of tea, it would be wonderful if you could like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. All right, we're going to start by talking about an alpaca farm that we went to visit. I basically looked up online alpaca farms in the area, and I came across one that was not very far from us. And it is called the Ballintotas Alpaca Farm, and they are open, I think it was Wednesdays and Sundays for visitors, and they give the most wonderful guided tour of both their fleece room, their fleece collection room, their store that they have on site, and their 15, I think it was, wonderful alpacas. And we got to go and check them out. We got really up close and personal with them. I got to feed them, so hopefully we can include that little video of me getting a chance to feed them. And we learned quite a bit about alpacas. I found that when we were there, I really liked the smell of the animals. You have to remember, I grew up around horses and cows and chickens in the Ottawa Valley area where there's a lot of farming. And I thought that they have a wonderful smell. They are a self-cleaning animal given the type of wool that they have. And they're not overly big. I thought they would be bigger.
They're like mini cactus dogs. It was really cute to see
them. I think with their long neck, they probably were as tall as me, and I'm about 5'8". But I didn't feel that they were like threatening animals.
No, you know, very welcoming.
Very welcoming. We found out that they don't really spit at people. They spit at each other. That was one of my worries, that they were going to spit at me, but they spit at each other. And what a beautiful farm. It was probably one of the cleanest, most well-kept farms I've ever seen. The animals were in beautiful condition. And the owner who showed us around did such an amazing job that afterwards, when I was talking to her and I found out that she was a teacher, it kind of made sense because she was a fantastic presenter. She told us a lot about the fleece. We took a couple of videos that we'll put at the end of our podcast, and hopefully we can try to insert some pictures. I've never done that successfully before, but I have my nephew who is a little bit better with the tech than I am, so hopefully we can work that in. But I would highly recommend going to visit this farm if you get the chance. A lot of the alpaca farms that give tours, or any wool fiber kind of place that will have you at their farm, There's a fee that kind of ranges between $30 and $50 for a visit, but this farm doesn't charge anything, and they were just most wonderful hosts. Their store was also incredible. So I bought a couple of things. Nate bought a couple of things for a present for a relative, but those have already been gifted. So we don't have those for you today to share. But I do have two things I want to share that I got. Their store is incredible. Some of the things are completely made with their fleece. Some of them are made with more of a cooperative group, so it's mixed fleece. And many of their knitted garments are made via a fair trade system. So there's women and people who get jobs in order to make the really quality items that they have in the store. So I felt like it was all a win-win. So I got two things. The first thing is this beautiful pair of alpaca socks. They are the softest thing I've ever felt. My feet are really going to enjoy them. And the owner told us that you really don't have to wash these very often. Alpaca fleece is very much a self-cleaning fleece. So when you've worn them, just take them off, sort of lay them, maybe hang them over your laundry basket and let them air out, and they'll be good to go for quite a few wears before you really need to wash them. And with washing them, it would be more of a soak with a wool wash. You don't want to throw these in the washing machine. I'm going to take them out of the package because the pattern is just so gorgeous. These are more of a pink and blue. It looks kind of like they're coming out more orangey, but just the same. They're stunning, super, super soft, and I think I'm probably going to end up having to go back for more of these. The other thing that I bought, and I had a really hard time deciding what I was going to get, and I knew I wanted to get a skein of alpaca just to see how it knitted up. This is it's called Silver Cloud Alpacas 100% alpaca, hand dyed in the berry color. It's a 102 gram skein, so clearly not a commercial 100 perfect grams. This is handmade all the way, and it has 280 meters in it. So it feels more like a sport or a fingering weight yarn rather than a DK. So I think I'm going to have to do maybe a little bit of a swatch to see how this knits up, but it's got a really subtle tonal color to it. And I was originally thinking when I got this that I'd love to put it into the color work of the Alpen Bloom sweater, but I'm going to have to wait and see how that swatch works. I'm not sure yet. So highly recommend Ballintotas. I'll put that information in the description box below so you can check it out yourself. So we went camping for a week. We went to a wonderful camp outside of Golden Lake. It's actually on Golden Lake, but there's a Golden Lake village nearby. The camp is called Red Pine Camp. I worked there as a teenager. My sister worked there as a teenager. My older nephew worked there for 2 years, the past 2 years. And Nate might work there when he is 16, 17 years old. You have to be 16 and 17 years old to be on the junior staff. And they work hard, but they also have a lot of fun. And we stayed in dry cabins, so there's no running water. There is electricity, so you can turn on a light or a fan. Shared showers, shared bathrooms, a big dining hall where you go 3 times a day when the bell rings to eat, so you don't have to pack food. And that is really the draw for me and my sister, because we can just relax, go down to the waterfront. I took sailing lessons. Nate was an LIT.
Yeah, so I just helped out around the camp.
And he learned a little bit about all the different jobs that he could possibly have when he gets older. So a little bit of a sampling of everything that's going on. But one of the great things that Red Pine Camp has is a craft hut.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that we're really drawn to. I took sailing lessons. So I was pretty busy in the morning. So I didn't have quite as much crafting time as I normally would. But for the first time ever, I tried leather work, and Nate had actually started doing some projects before I started. So he was able to give me a little bit of advice. And I started with a really simple project. This is going to be a bookmark. And the way that this worked is that we got the piece of leather, and very unfinished leather, and they have all the impressioning metal tools with a mallet that you have to hit pretty hard after you kind of dampen the leather so that it's more malleable. And it makes all of these marks, and then you can varnish it if you want. And I think the finishing touch was the spray.
Yeah.
The, what is it called? The finisher? What did we call that? Was there a word for that?
I don't remember.
Okay, I can't remember either, but there was a spray that we put on them, and it's a bit of a shiny spray, and I feel like it really finished things off really well. So this was the kicker for me, because they had these leather bracelets that you could do your leather work on and wear them as a leather bracelet. And I did all of these Celtic knot kind of prints on mine. But when I started getting my mind worked around this, I realized that if I put this on the smallest button or snap, this would make a fantastic shawl cuff. So when I realized that there was the shawl cuff possibility, I just started going to town on these things.
Yes.
I was like, I got to make more of these. I'm going back next year to make even more. So this was my first one. And I feel like that turned out pretty good for my first one. And I got all into the Celtic theme. And I did another one. This was my second one. There, I'm just trying to get it to show up really well. And this was my third one. And I just had so much fun making these. I could do this all day. It was really, I don't know, very like meditative.
Yeah, soothing.
Yeah, very soothing to do this. The only problem was the noise.
Yeah.
I think if there was more than just me doing it for a long time, I might need like ear protection, because you have a slab of marble underneath and you're pounding away to make these impressions. And I found like I had to hit like 20 times to get a satisfactory indentation in my leather. So it could really kind of get to your ears after a while. So earplugs might not be a bad thing if you were doing this, you know, more regularly, like every day kind of thing. But for us, it was just like a 1 week, an hour a day kind of thing. But Craft Hut was fantastic. What else did you do? Oh, we did the resin work.
Yes.
I didn't bring those down. Oh, no.
It's okay. We'll insert like a photo somewhere.
Maybe we'll,
Right there. I don't know.
We'll try to insert a photo. We also did a little workshop on resin jewelry with press-dried flowers. We could use gold leaf in there as well. Yeah. And I made some earrings with like a pink daisy with inlaid gold. Nate did quite a few more other things than I did.
Yeah, I did resin work at my school, so I was definitely used to it all.
Yeah, he had way more experience than I did. But it was fun. It was definitely something I would love to do again. And the wonderful thing about doing it at camp was that there's, you know, a lot of equipment involved with the leather work, a lot of equipment involved with the resin, and it's all there for you to use. You just, you know, have a little fee, and you don't have to buy all that stuff, and you get to sample trying it out. So it really was the best way to try all of these things out. So it was great.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on our agenda?
Your projects.
My projects. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nate's gonna talk soon, I promise. Yeah. All right, so I have been working, and I worked at camp quite pretty much solo on my pressed flowers. It's not a sweater, pullover by Amy Christoffers. I've talked about this a number of times before. I'm using the Noro yarn, which is called the Silk Garden Lite. I have it in a solid color, but the solid color really has bits of flecks of other colors in it. And I'm using their variegated yarn as well. So the last time I talked about this, I'm going to have to block you, I think.
Okay.
The last time I talked about this, I had worked past the sleeve where you cut off for the sleeves, but I went ahead and just zoomed through this. This is so different from my own screen. I zoomed through this and I went right down to the bottom. And this is a top-down sweater, and it is mosaic knitting. And I ended up getting down to the bottom and doing the ribbing. And surprisingly, it went fast. Usually I hate doing ribbing, one by one ribbing, but it went surprisingly fast. This is a DK weight, which helps it, you know, not be quite so laborious. And I did not change my needle sizes for that. There we go. Yeah, I just stayed at the same needle size because I wanted to be super drapey at the bottom. And since I podcasted the last time, I also started working on a sleeve. And the one thing about this is the sleeves are pretty wide, and that's not something I'm used to wearing. So I'm not sure if I'm at about the elbow. I might do some more decreases as I go. I really am not sure quite yet what I'm going to do there. But I'm loving this. It has a really rhythmic feeling to it as you knit it. It's very relaxing, but not boring. I have trouble with things that are very plain. Although I love the neutrals, they're fantastic for wearing and putting shawls with, but I tend to put them aside and get kind of bored, and then they disappear, you know, in a great big pile. So that is my pressed flowers pullover. Really enjoying it, and it looks like I might get that finished this summer. So a second thing that I've been working on, and it's a really good thing for a hot day because you don't have a great big sweater in your lap, are these little washing your pots and pans and dishes scrubbies. And this one has a bit of a Christmas theme to it. I haven't woven the ends in, but that's really easy with this kind of yarn. I've made many of these over the years and used them and used them and used them. I throw them in the wash in hot water with all of my tea towels, and they take a beating and they just keep going. What I use for this is the Red Heart Scrubby, and this is the one that is completely, I believe it's all nylon. Let me take a look. Can you see that? 100% polyester. Yeah. I do have the cotton one, but I find for dishes, this one is spectacular, and it takes a beating and it keeps on going. Like it's amazing. And from a ball like this, depending on how big I'm making my scrubbies, because you can make them bigger, but I actually like the smaller ones. I find that they're easier to work with when I'm washing. I could probably get 5 or 6 out of these from one of these balls of yarn, but if I'm going for the bigger ones, maybe only 3. So it depends on how big you make them, but it's not expensive, and they don't take very long. Like one of these is definitely an under an hour kind of project.
I'm new to crocheting, and it took me probably 2 hours.
Yeah, Nate made one of these, and yeah, he did a good job. He made it was like a bright neon pink. And they're very forgiving too, because you can't really see your stitches or your mistakes. So very beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Super beginner friendly. So I have one more project to show you. This is a project that I actually started quite a while ago. I haven't shown it on the podcast. I bought it as a kit. It's hanging right here on the back of me. This is super, super well known. This is I think it's called the Nightshift shawl by Andrea Mowry. And I went for a day out to the town of Kingston, and they have a yarn store. I believe it's called Unraveled. And I just, had my eye on this project, and they had this kit that really appealed to me. It's got like teal blues in it and purples. I'm having trouble with my camera's the opposite to this screen, so it's
Yeah.
kind of weirding me out. This is Cascade. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it's a machine washable one, and this is knit in a weight 4 yarn. So this will be machine washable. It is a fantastic fun, sorry Nate. This is a fantastic fun project. It's constantly changing colors. It is also mosaic knitting, so it seems like I'm right into the mosaic technique right now. And fantastic potato chippy, kind of watch TV and knit away on it. So I'd say I'm at least halfway through the project. And after my pressed flowers, this is the one of the ones I want to get off the needles and finish it up. But yeah, no, really enjoying this. I know it's recently been really popular. I've seen a lot of podcasters making this, and there's been a lot of knit-alongs and whatnot. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this. I think Andrea Mowry has done like a sweater version of this and a cardigan version, and I probably would be tempted to do that. I really enjoy all the color that comes out in a project like this. So that is all about me.
Yes.
So Nate has a couple of things that he'd like to show, and which one do you want to start with? Your soap making?
We can start with my
or your crochet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I haven't completed it, but he's missing an arm. But yeah, so this is my first crocheting project that I've ever done. And it turned out really nice. And I'll show you.
I'll hold it up while you talk a little bit more about the kit.
Yeah, so this is the kit that it came in, and it's called Needles and Creations, and it was really nice. I picked it up at a thrift store near us for like $5, and I thought, I should just start it. So I started it here, and it looks really nice, and I'm really proud of it.
Yep, my oldest daughter gave him a little bit of help to get started, and we started with the hat, right?
Yeah.
That seemed to be the easiest part to start with, and I would say it's pretty beginner friendly.
Yeah.
He's learned how to do chain stitches. We gotta watch banging the table because it wiggles the camera. He's learned how to do chain stitches, single crochets. He's also learned how to do increasing.
Yep. Decreasing.
And decreasing.
Yep.
And braiding.
Yes.
And yeah, super fun project. The kit included absolutely everything, which impressed me. It had the stuffing, the yarn, the needle to sew in the ends, and everything included. And like, this is just so cute. And the pattern is really well written. And I thought kind of a cute variation would be to use sock yarn and to do the hat in like a self-striping Christmas sock yarn.
Or holiday colors, like Halloween.
Yeah, you could do a Halloween hat, gnome, a Christmas hat gnome. You could make, if you use sock yarn, they'd be even smaller, and you could maybe hang them on a tree.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could use thick yarn, and they'd be bigger, like to just sit on, a mantle or something. So it'd be super cute. Yeah, so really fun project. And then you got it at a thrift store, even better, wonderful. All right.
Yes. And then for the soap, I started this probably a year ago, and I've done a lot of different stuff. Ooh, it's weird to feel. But you can kind of see this one was a blue and red swirl. This was just leftovers that I had, and so I wanted to use it all up. And then this is just my pink one. It's a flower design. I have a lot of different molds and a lot of different scents.
Okay. And like your basic recipe for your soaps, is it usually the same like products that you start with?
Yeah. I usually start with like the same soap base, because when you're working with like soap from scratch, the lye can be really dangerous. so I didn't want to burn myself. But
Yeah, that would scare
yeah,
me. I wouldn't want to
yeah,
use that either.
uh-huh.
And then for your colors, like, do you
Yes.
have to buy special dyes and everything for that, or?
Yeah, yeah, you can use actually a lot of different colors. You can use like resin colorant, which can also go to candle colorant and soap colorant. So it's like it can be used for all those different things, which is really nice because if I want to start resin or candle making, I can do that.
And do you add scents?
Yeah, yeah, I add a lot of scents. I have probably 30 different scents, and I want to get more for different like occasions.
So I think he might be taking after me. I have a wall of yarn upstairs, and I think he might end up with like a wall of soap making
Yeah,
things.
yeah. My desk, I'm very minimalistic, but my desk is covered with just different soap things on it. So yeah, it's definitely getting cluttered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the danger with these things is
Hmm.
that you know you love all your stuff, but it's a storage issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And Nate
yes,
also has all of the packaging.
yes.
He's really got into making it
Yeah.
professional looking.
Yeah, so this is my packaging. I just bought it off of Amazon and it's really nice. The windows are sometimes different, so I opened this one already, but this one is a square view and this is a circle view. And then I really got into making labels. This is my lavender label. I have other labels that I will try to find photos to and put it up on the
Did
screen.
you make that purple? Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
yeah, yeah,
I love that the lavender is
yeah.
purple and the sticker is purple. That's
Hmm.
so nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, I usually just include like a whole soap in there, and then I'll include like um, 5 gummy soaps for like traveling and that stuff, which
Oh,
is kind of
that's
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Uh-huh.
go soaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I love the rustic tie that you're
Yeah.
using,
Uh-huh.
like really natural.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm hoping to get more like for my shrink wrap. It isn't the best for the planet, and I'm hoping to find some that's like really good, you know, recyclable and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
because there's more plant-based type
Yeah.
plastics that are coming out. If anybody knows of something that would be more environmentally friendly
Yeah.
to do the shrink wrap for the soaps, it would be
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic if you
Hmm.
could give us an idea in the comments below. And Nate is also doing something really wonderful. When he goes back to
Hmm.
Seattle,
Yeah.
he's going to be making a gift basket. Is it for a raffle?
It's for yeah, a bidding thing.
Like a silent auction?
Yeah, silent auction, and it's gonna be this big basket. I'm gonna put all the different soaps in it, and I'm hoping to like make it because it's gonna be in the fall, so I'm hoping like fall scents and summer and
Yeah.
winter,
And maybe
all
you
that.
can mention like something about the charity that you're doing the big
Yeah,
basket for.
yeah. So the charity is for Perfect Pals, which helps cats who need help, like whether it's surgery or like if no one wants to adopt them, then they'll just take them in and like wait until people want to adopt them. And my mom is a board director, so I get to go in every month on Sunday, and then I get to pet all the cats and we go shopping afterwards. So it's really nice.
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
just a nice day out, and you're also helping out a lot. But
Hmm.
I think the basket's going to be wonderful.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think people are gonna be bidding quite a bit for
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be nice. Yeah. So is that a wrap? Did we get
Yep.
all of our items?
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've hit on everything. We're gonna put or try to put some videos of the farm at the end,
And pictures.
and some pictures and
Yeah.
anything else that we
Yeah.
have that we think you might find interesting. Um, one of the things that I would like to do, and maybe Nate could also
Hmm.
join in with this, I'd like to give one of my shawl cuffs as a prize
Hmm.
when I hit 1,000 subscribers for the channel. Um, I've talked a little bit about that before. There's some independent yarn dyers on the North Shore of Quebec where I live. I want to include a skein of yarn from them, a shawl cuff, and maybe we can convince Nate to include a soap.
Hmm.
And we can make a really nice
Definitely.
prize for hitting
Yeah.
that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think I'm over 800 now, so it's going well. So if you have enjoyed our episode number 10, I hope it's number 10 because I keep saying number 10.
Yeah.
Today, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Maybe Nate will join us again sometime with some more projects that he's got. So we're going to say goodbye and happy knitting.
Yes.
Take care. Looks like a giant Pomeranian. So how do I feed?
Just with a flat hand.
Like a horse kind of thing? She'll just nibble it out of your hand. You want to eat some more? Oh, she's so cute. Are you done?